Another thing that Stephen A. just did recently, he had Candace Owens on, right?
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
The clip farmer herself.
Yes. Candace.
And y'all might hold on. Let me say this really
ahead.
quick, right? Y'all might not be understanding what we're meaning by clip farming, right? Candace Owens is like the mother of clip farming for the when it comes to the black community. Just saying shit.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. You're just saying shit, and that's the thing within Twitch, right? And it does correlate to money, but in Twitch and in social media, it doesn't correlate to money as much as you would think. For instance, Speed backflipping off a fucking thing and hitting his desk it doesn't correlate to the millions as like Candace Owens does when she just says, slavery was a choice, et cetera. You know what I'm saying? So the thing, but it's the same fucking thing is what I'm saying.
The reason why I will get on Stephen A. for like clip farming in this instance is because, right, I'm not saying that you can never have a right-wing perspective on. I'm not saying as much as I think that Candace should have platforms severely limited because she just lies, and people who platform her should at least be prepared to combat those lies. The reason why it's clip farming in this instance is because Stephen A. got her on. First thing he's like, is she's a very controversial figure. That's the reason why you have her on, because she's controversial. And then you sat down and you let her say whatever, and he was not prepared for a single topic. Was not prepared for a single thing.
He didn't rebut.
Bro, you know what I don't fuck with? Stephen A. recognizes, right? Like you said, Stephen A.'s been in this space for a long time. And media has pushed itself in a way where niggas like us, we're doing the same shit Stephen A. does right the fuck.
On a podcast. Right? On a podcast.
Exactly. This is the same shit he does, right? So Stephen A. has tried to diversify himself. I don't fuck with, though, you getting into shit you don't know about or doing it, completely. And that's the
because that's what
issue.
It is. If you're someone who
trying to sound political and shit, but also, or getting into shit, and he's just flat out fucking wrong half the time.
Exactly, and even if you don't know like particular things in the political space,
have
someone else
research. I was gonna say, us three are not fucking political gurus. This nigga's the guru, and we let the nigga speak it. He corrects us if we fuck up. Except they have this nigga on here talking, bro. I saw some shit the other day that I was like, Stephen A. 2028. You're bullshitting right now. Nigga, bring Kanye back at that point. Like, you're bullshitting.
Anyone, go ahead, Al.
And the whole thing with that is you were saying, like, he had no topics prepared or anything, and you don't like the fact that he got into politics and not know what he's talking about. I think he understands the basis of Candace Owens, but I think the problem is he doesn't understand politics and there's a profit incentive. It's like, I know she sells controversy, so I'm going to put her on my show.
But you don't
know politics.
And that's where the clip farming comes in, because you don't even understand the implications of you doing that without being able to press anything she's saying is that you're just spreading lies to people.
Exactly.
And it doesn't matter because you're going to get the views. I'm going to set up this clip by basically what happened was Stephen A. asked her in the vein of her being controversial. He's like, how does it feel to be a black conservative in America? I want y'all to listen to this, about a minute-long clip, the answer that she gives, and then at the end, I'm going to run through why being prepared for this shit is so fucking important. Go ahead.
I find it now, it's pioneering, to put it in a nice way. And I think it's the most rewarding thing ever when what I have found is that if you just stand for truth, even in the beginning when it's really hard and people say terrible things about you, and I've been called everything you could possibly imagine, then there's that moment, even if it takes years, where they do come back and they say you were right, particularly about BLM. I mean, I was hitting the drum about the finances so early, and I'm going, I'm not saying that you don't have feelings about this thing, but I am telling you something else is going on, and this is going to harm the black community in the end. This money is just going to be zapped out of communities, and communities are going to be destroyed. And then when that was proven right, it was so refreshing to hear people say, yeah, we kind of hated her for a really long time. We're kind of saying this for a really long time. And then, the fraud of Patrice Cullors and what they were doing with the money. And so my brain just works differently. I am different, and I'm happy being different. I don't want to be the same.
Yeah, okay, nigga.
First off,
so my brain works differently. I am different. Yeah, your brain do work fucking different.
It does. I was thrown off because her eyes are wide and it fucking terrified me. But second of all, the thing that frustrates me, and this is what goes into clip farming, is you'll manipulate the audience. You'll bring in the audience of, oh no,
victim.
This is destroying the black community. We need to care about it.
Bro, immediately she hits on two victims. She hits on herself being a victim and you, that black person sitting behind the camera, being a victim.
And that's the
immediately.
And then you look at it. She said all this shit, but then here's a direct contradiction. Nigga, you did a whole documentary on George Floyd in saying like he didn't actually die. How do you care
Talk
about
about
the black
that,
community?
Candace.
How
Let's
do you
talk about
care
that
about at
fucking
all?
thing.
Talk about that. Keep the same energy
keep
for
the
that
same
shit.
The
energy.
reason why it's clip farming is because Steven is just there's multiple instances where
Yeah, you
he's
said,
on.
"Oh."
There's multiple instances where he's like, well, I didn't know that, and I'm seeing all these people trying to press you, and they don't have a reason to substantiate why they don't like you. They just saying, dude.
Here's what you
Yes.
should do if you're Stephen A. Oh, I don't see why people are saying that, but here's what people are saying. What is your rebuttal to that?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. That's why it's irresponsible. Yes,
Oh my
Candace, I'm love
bro.
that you brought up that documentary. Candace Owens did film an entire like hour-and-a-half documentary about George Floyd, BLM, and everything where she does hit on the finances and everything. I happen to have watched that documentary as somebody who knows what the fuck they're talking about. In that documentary, she had somebody named Dr. Ron Marnelli, who in the clip has a Blue Lives Matter flag pin, who's talking about how they really had to try to inculcate the public with this notion that he died to this police officer and not to the drug overdose. Dr. Ron Martinelli is a CEO of a consultation firm that's literally paid to give expert testimony in defense of police officers in court. Oh,
Wow.
that was the evidence.
I did not know that.
I'm not done. The end of it, she spends 10 minutes bashing BLM about like their finances and everything. What she did was going through the financial report, finding different organizations that BLM legally took their donation money and sent to support them, and was saying, oh, that's weird, that's bad because it supported like gay people or trans people or something. There's nothing illegal about an organization using money to give to other organizations, which they did. But she clips out these ones that she knows her right-wing audiences are not going to like because it supports gay people and trans people. And it's like, what are they doing with this money? I'm still not done. She questions Patrice Cullors, who was originally one of the founders of BLM. And is like, oh, yeah, she took the money and bought houses.
About that house.
Patrice Cullors has been unpaid from Black
see-
Lives Matter since at least 2019.
Do you remember when we...
Did y'all see that clip of Yachty?
Oh my
Yes,
God.
I think that
Clip
clip
of
was
Yachty.
Yachty.
Wait.
Yes.
He
So-
was
so-
on his cooking show, right?
Yeah.
And I think the topic of BLM came up, and he was like, "Oh yeah, it's a scam, bro. They bought mansions and
Yes.
shit. Yeah, it's a
He
scam."
said it was again.
Yeah.
Yes. He was talking.
I'm
It was
like,
with
what?
it's
Yes.
What's her name? It's like Quinn Blackwell. That's how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She was on this cooking show.
Me and this nigga JJ, and this is the only thing I'm gonna say. Then JJ, you continue. I remember me and JJ debunked this shit. Not even debunked this shit, but we questioned like how stupid this shit is, right? They're talking about she bought that house. What was it, like $6 million or something like that?
that mansion. Yeah,
They're talking about she bought this big ass mansion for $6 million. First of all, fucking Trevor. You live in a fucking trailer park saying this. Your fucking trailer costs $30,000. Of course, that $6 million sounds like so much to you. This is LA. Nigga, you can't buy a dog for less than the fuck are we talking about?
And also, Patrice did not do that shit.
You
that
was
hou-
there,
I
nigga.
went to the fucking house. The
What's the house for, JJ?
The house is a complex for Black creatives. The inside they have like whenever they get people there, they've hosted dinners for the families of like the victims of the police brutality, of the victims of the shooting. They have Black creatives like designing in the house and everything. They hold meetings there. They do all that shit, and the location in which they bought it is like right before a lot of like the hilly areas, which is why the property is there. It's a storied area.
We can't buy a crib for $6 million to invest in like our own nigga. I don't give a fuck if she had the whole block at that house, nigga.
And they have
we
multiple
can't buy
times.
a crib for $6 million, but you'll let niggas like Trump and like Elon, like all of these right wing niggas
Nigga be a car salesman.
hundreds of millions of dollars on bullshit.
That they
On
don't
bullshit.
use.
Nigga,
And
they
it's
will
like-
fundraise for $46 million and throw it at bullshit.
What the fuck? Oh,
We can't raise a cool $6. We gonna get this crib.
Oh, and the
we
big
gonna have JJ here. We gonna have a jam at the Black Lives Matter house. We can't do that shit, my nigga.
because it's it's good.
Because now it's a scam, and then you have motherfuckers like Candace Owens, a Black woman, saying it's a fucking scam.
Candace
Jesus
Owens in
Christ.
that documentary like goes up to Patrice's like front gate and is pressing her about it, and is like, and she's like freaking out because like, why the fuck is this provocateur here at my crib? like you're like, this motherfucker who's bullshitting is here at my crib.
Right.
Patrice has been unpaid from that org for years, stepped away from like leadership of that org years ago, has her own shit, a book deal, teaches
Did
that
she step away due to the scrutiny?
I'm pretty sure she did because it was a lot of like shit that they were just stirring
How
up
do you even
about her,
manage that
meaning
at
that she has nothing to do with the functions about this organization in general since, and that was since before George Floyd.
I think having like no one is above criticism.
Yes.
So I think having criticism for Black Lives, I have criticism.
Exactly,
for
we all
Black
do.
Lives Matter. platforming someone like Candace Owens, though, to share her criticisms about Black Lives Matter, the same woman that has wore All Lives Matter shirts in the wake of the
I remember that shit.
With Kanye?
2020 and
Oh,
Kanye.
White Lives Matter, actually.
White Lives Matter. That's what it was. It wasn't even All Lives Matter. It was fucking White Lives Matter.
Went on tour wearing that shit.
Yeah, went on tour wearing it.
Funny enough, in that podcast, she talks about how like, because Steven asked her about the White Lives Matter thing, and she's like, yeah, well, I grew up on Kanye, and he just empowered me to like feel like not fit into the black stereotype. Nigga, you went and said that Cardi B is
So now niggas don't got their own mind.
Candace
Got you.
Owens said that Cardi B is her music is perversity pitched to us as diversity. Kanye West has said, if I fuck this model and she bleached her asshole and I get bleach on my t-shirt, I'm gonna feel like an asshole. That's the nigga who's profound to you, right?
Yeah. Oh, kind of hard.
It's hard, right? Not to you though. I thought that was perversity.
Yeah, I thought that was perversity.
So
You pick and choose.
you're not, and Steven is not prepared for any of this shit. Mind you, there was a lawsuit launched from BLM Grassroots, which was the local organizations, against the national chapter. It got dismissed because they couldn't substantiate claims of wrongdoing. Indiana did a lawsuit. They're going to investigate BLM because this money went nowhere. They dropped that shit. It hasn't happened. There's still yet to this day been any evidence that there was any financial wrongdoing against BLM. And they just say, they hated me because I was saying this for a long time. And she was right.
And then they utilized the whole thing to say, our communities. You guys are like millionaires. Stephen A. Smith, you make a lot of fucking money, more money than like any nigga in the NHL, actually, which I just found out. You throw some money at the communities then if you give a fuck.
If you really give a fuck.
If you give a fuck,
if Candace really got a problem with that BLM misusing funds,
use
nigga,
your
do
money
something
with
with the money that you
in the
clip
right
farm
fucking
with.
way.
If that's
You're not
the
gonna do
case.
that though.
No, you just
She has
sit
a
there and
whole
clip
she has a
farm.
whole segment in there where she like finds some random dude in Minneapolis and was like, BLM took the money, and then look, the city's
Nigga
fucked
not
up.
even connected
It was
to
post
shit.
riots.
Niggas not connected to shit.
Not connected
Talk
to shit.
zombie.
Mind you, we gonna get 90 mil and rebuild the city of Minneapolis with
Like,
it. How? What the fuck do you think that they were gonna do? Yeah, okay. If you really give a fuck, then you go do something about it. You put y'all pool y'all money together and really fix this black community. Every time I'm seeing you on the TV is black people did XYZ wrong, black people did XYZ
And
wrong.
we're criticized. Like, it's not the issue is not that we're criticizing ourselves. It's just you're loud and wrong, gang. That's the fucking
Completely.
problem.
And it's like, you damn near know it.
You know
Because
you wrong.
you
You
know
wrong.
what
You
audience
dead
you're
wrong.
feeding to. You know the profit incentive you get from it. You're dead wrong. And this is what's going to lead our society to a shithole.
And
Because
Stephen A-
of clip farming.
And
because of
people
the
like
influence
people
it has
like
on people.
Stephen A. Smith have a responsibility to know when these motherfuckers are bullshitting to you. And she's just saying things fast, and you're like, damn, I didn't know that. And now you're co-signing this narrative that what she's saying is
Exactly.
true. Nothing she said was fucking true.
Think about this,
But it's a
right?
clip though.
Think about this.
Yeah, it's a clip.
It's a clip.
Fucking
And
thriller.
what form of media, right? What form of media is the most? I wouldn't say form of media. It's not that. What side of social media is the most like? Oh, we gotta push this. We gotta get this. And they're getting hundreds of thousands, millions of views.
right.
They're right.
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 But I saw a fucking tweet on Elon or on Twitter the other day. It was like, you're probably seeing this right now because you like Donald Trump. I was like, hell nah, nigga, what the fuck?
No,
Bro, ask me how many impressions that shit had on Twitter. 246 million.
Bro.
I'm like, nigga, you know these
what you're
niggas are just pushing that shit. It's a regular ass, like, it was the shittiest ad I've ever, it was like just a regular shitty ass ad you'd see on like, you know what I'm saying, like a bootleg site or something
Right.
like that.
Bro,
Nigga,
completely.
246 million impressions on that bitch.
Insane.
I'm like,
Think
that's
about-
fucking
And think
crazy.
about this, bro. The thing is, when, say one of your viewers, right? They want to see your pod because it's you. So they'll come to the pod, they'll see you, and throughout the pod, they learn fashion, they learn pop culture, they learn politics, and they'll get into those topics. Think about a Stephen A. Smith. A person who watches him do takes on LeBron. You're seeing that, and you're like, oh, he has his own personal show. I wonder who he brought in. You
And
see
we
Candace
want-
Owens.
Think
That
about how many
introduces you to
people
how
he
dangerous that is.
converted to that shit.
Exactly.
In one episode.
In one
my
video.
nigga.
Because
Just because
you
they
wanted to
fuck with
spread.
Stephen A.
Exactly. So then at that point, you take word is bond.
Oh,
You take
word
the
is bond.
truth.
Word is bond.
And that's the problem with clip farming, right? Clip farming blurs the truth in general. So any person that you flock to and you see they're doing that shit for clicks, you're like, oh, wait, is that actually the truth?